So, a lot of things happened on Sunday. Sam Howell got benched again. Mason Rudolph came down from the North Pole and gave the Steelers offense a few gifts. They finally seen what touchdowns look like. I was gonna say something about Dallas not beating another road team and the Dolphins actually beating a good team, but we about to talk about that right now. So let's just talk about one more thing before we get into that. The NFL and them streaming that game on Peacock. Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad timing. I see what y'all was trying to do, but that was a bad idea. You know what else was a bad idea? The Cowboys playing on Sunday in Miami. Why could that game not be in Dallas? Because it's the only place they seem like they know how to win. So the Dolphins nipped the Cowboys 22-20 victory from 5 field goals from Sanders, who was 5 field goals away from beating the Cowboys. And they secured a win. The Dolphins are running down the tunnel as we speak now, saying they can't beat a good team. Look what they just did. And the Cowboys are all in the press conferences now saying that, hey, we got to be road warriors. We got to be better. We got to do this. You got to be strong. You got to be wise. You got to get it together. But like a penny with a hole in it, this team's still hopeless. What's your reaction to that game, guys? I'm gonna start with you, Joe.
So I came on here last week, and it's the rumor out about y'all not being good on the road. Y'all just happen to play these good teams on the road. I mean, the Dolphins was not home; they were on the road. I'm sorry, and the Dolphins, that was a good win for them. I thought that they did a good job on CD Lamb in the second half of the game. They kind of basically raced them out the game. Tua was pretty good. Especially that first drive when y'all pinned them down on their own 1 or 2 yard line, whatever it was. And on that third down play, he got that ball to Waddle to get him more breather room. That was a big play of the game. Obviously, the fumble was too. But people don't realize since Jalen Ramsey has been in lineup, the Dolphins has been a top three defense. I don't think nobody realized that. They've been a top three defense since Jalen Ramsey been in lineup. So I still think for the situation y'all were in, Miami is really good at home. Miami just came off a home loss against Tennessee, right? Or they beat New York in New York. That was in New York, or that was in Miami. I'm not sure, but I know they lost on prime time against Tennessee. So they're looking for some get back. And y'all played. It didn't play bad, but the defense did a good job. 5 field goals. Because normally that's what's slipping on the road. That's what I hear. I hear on the defense on travel with the road. All right, even though they gave up almost 40 points or 40 points to the Seahawks at home, but that's the hit on there, right? They don't know how to travel on the road. This defense actually traveled on the road. Now Dolphins were getting downfield, but they were getting stops. They even got that stop to allow the Cowboys to get that last touchdown. All right, so the Cowboys did come through and offense came through when it was needed. That pass Cooks was Brandon Cook was beautiful. I would give on that. But that fumble in the beginning of the game was a costly fumble for y'all. That 100 yard for the rest of the game. But y'all just gotta learn how to be a team that's a good team that's playing well. Because the only good team you actually beat to me were the Eagles, but they weren't playing well when y'all beat them. But I don't think I have a road issue. I think it's just because y'all are playing the better teams on the road. So that's and y'all don't force turnovers against the good teams. So that's the main issue to me.
Dave?
Yeah, I kind of sort of going to concede with what Joe said, but the Cowboys just they really do have to play better on the road. Um, that's the that's the biggest issue. It's not about them playing on the road. It's playing on the road against good teams. We know they can win on the road, especially if they go up against the Giants or the Commanders or the
Chargers.
the Chargers, the Panthers. They can beat those teams on the road because those teams don't. Those teams aren't at least for this season. Those teams aren't that good. We've seen what happened with the Chargers. They just fired Brandon Staley, who should have been fired, but he is now gone. The Commanders are more than likely going to move on from Ron Rivera after the end of the season. Um, the Panthers pretty much have thrown away the season. They have absolutely no star weapons on that offense other than the quarterback they just drafted. They have no O line. They don't have a star running back. They don't have a star receiver. The best receiver they have is Adam Thielen, and he's not in his prime anymore. Um, And the Giants are the Giants. The Cowboys just own the Giants. They're 4-0 against them the last 2 seasons, so they just own them. But I do have to give them credit for beating the Eagles. The Eagles weren't playing well, but the Eagles were still at that time the number one team in the NFC as far as record wise, and um, they also made sure that they beat them handily. Even though the thing is the Cowboys were at home, they weren't on the road. They nearly beat them on the road early in the season, which was like 2 weeks before. But we see that didn't happen. The Cowboys also don't score as much on the road as they do at home. They score a lot more at home. Their record at home this year is what? It's 7-0, 7-0, 8-0. And they're what, 3-5 on the road. So that shows you what the difference is. They score less, they don't gain as many yards on the road. So the road woes are real. It's not real against bad teams. So they have to play better when they go against good teams like Philly on the road, like Miami, like Miami on the road, or like San Francisco on the road. You see what happens when they play against San Francisco. It's almost like I don't know. And then they got another test coming up because they got to play the Lions
at home.
So we'll see what happens with that game. The Lions could, still are in position to get the number one seed in the NFC. So that's something that they got to play for as well. So, but Cowboys they have to play a lot better on the road, especially against good teams. Or it's going to be like every other season for the Cowboys. They're going to go on the playoffs, go on the road, might be the NFC South, and then that's it after that.
Man, that's funny you say that, Dave, because it's looking like Groundhog's Day. It's looking like we're going to have to go down. We have to go down to Tampa Bay. We got to play a hot Tampa Bay team. Well, I don't think Tampa Bay was hot last year. Brady was still trying to. You called it, Dave. You said we was going to go down there and beat them. So I was still off the Brady mantra. But with this team, I don't think it's road woes. I think it's penalty woes. Undisciplined football. Like the Cowboys, again, this is what, the second year, going on maybe the third year, where they're the top 5 team. I'm going to say top 2 team that's leading in penalties again. Here you go with yet another drive where your defense could have made a stop, but you get a face mask penalty. Then you also got a defensive coordinator who loves man coverage, but when it's time to go against a team that knows how to scheme up good offenses, they make the plays. You go man on a crucial 3rd and 2 with Tyreek Hill. Granted, Lewis did slip, but at the end of the day, why are you going man right there? You know where they're going to try to get the ball to. It's either they're going to get it to Tyreek or they're going to run the ball. And what happened? Last week we played the Bills, and I'm going to steal somebody's quote, where they just kept handing the ball to Cooks over and 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 over again. And shout out to Marshawn Lynch, but you got punched in the face. The week before you said it, D-Law, about the Eagles, but the Bills came and did the same thing to you. And if you punch somebody in the face like that, they're not going to want to keep going through that. After the Dolphins got that first down, what did they do? They said, we can hand the ball off. We can close this game out. 2 crucial runs, field goal, time to go home. One thing I will say about this defense is you took one of the number 1 offense and you held them to 1 touchdown. Like, that's a win. That's a win in my book. About this offense, can Dak Prescott lead you down and actually get you a game-winning touchdown? Yeah, but can Dak Prescott go on the road and get you 30 to 40 points? This offense has yet to show that. We need well-balanced complementary football, and that's just not what's happening with this team when they go on the road. Maybe it's because when they get in the hotel room, everybody on different floors, they not kicking it like they need to. Maybe they don't got the sleep number mattresses. There's a lot of jokes there that can be said, but the team is proving that if the team is almost of your level or superior on the road, they got a chance to win this game. So for me, if they start playing more disciplined football, they can win some of these games on the road. But I want to take 1 second, though, and just say, look, the Dolphins did what they were supposed to do. Their offense didn't show up like it normally would, but they found a way to win the game. And that's just what good teams do. We've been talking about that trash 11-win team. I seen that comment, Kev. But they've been finding ways to win games in bad situations. And if you want to be good, you got to find a way to win in bad situations. road or at home.
Yeah, and the point differential, the Cowboys splits the season 7-0 at home, plus 171 at home, and on the road 3-5, -4 differential.
Yep.
Who they lose to on the road though?
Cardinals, 49ers,
Cardinals, 49ers,
49ers, Eagles. When
Dolphins,
Eagles just beat the Chiefs, right?
Dolphins and Bills,
And Dolphins. Huh?
Dolphins
So
and Bills.
they beat the Bills. It lost to the Bills at home. And the Bills are streaking right now, right? They're playing well right now. They lost to the Dolphins away. They lost to the Eagles after they beat the Dolphins and the Chiefs. They lost to the Cardinals when they were down 3 offensive linemen, and the Cardinals did what nobody was doing the first 2 games, running the ball. And who they beat at home? The Eagles after they just got smoked by the 49ers. And what happened after they beat the Eagles? Did the Eagles lose again? All right, to who? The Seahawks? So the Eagles weren't the same. I'm not trying to take nothing away from y'all, but the Eagles y'all played in Philly was a different Eagles team y'all played in Dallas. So I don't think it's now obviously everybody plays a little bit better at home, but they don't have a big of a road problem. They just run into all their good teams on the road. Like the Dolphins, like you said. Now granted, Rado was out. Mostert was he only caught 1 pass and he was out after that. Mostert was limited. He got hurt. And they already down like 3 offensive linemen. They're number 1 because of what they did first half of the season. So they haven't been number 1 lately. But y'all did hold them to 1 touchdown. That was big, And then unfortunately, y'all had that turnover in the first drive. That actually killed y'all. Like, so
it did.
Y'all just playing against good teams on the road, in my opinion.
But that's where the undisciplined part comes into place because you can make those mistakes against the Panthers because you can make up for it on the back end. You can't play like that when you got a 49ers or a Dolphins team. Even the Eagles, you can't play like that against them because they're gonna feed off of that. And also when you get in the red zone, you have to score. Like field goals can't do it. Technically, field goals did it for the Dolphins, but when you go into the NFC, field goals ain't gonna do that, man. You gotta score.
Like, look at the teams y'all be at home. Y'all playing old mediocre teams, except for Philly. And then you might say Seattle, but y'all barely beat Seattle. Like, so that's my thing. Like, y'all have a bigger problem than roads. I don't want everybody to keep labeling, they're not going to road. No, they have other, like Tomo said, they got to be more discipline. It has nothing to do with road against good teams. Discipline against good teams.
That's what it is. Well, up next, the Cowboys got Detroit on Saturday, and then the Dolphins play Baltimore for who's going to be the true number 1 seed in the AFC. We're going to see, man. Shout out to the Browns, man. They out here doing the unthinkable. 4 quarterbacks in. We see you, Tay. But let's talk about a coach, man.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.